My garbage person of the week, informally, I guess, would have to be either Tyler Robinson or the white supremacist who shot up the high school. Generally, this segment doesn't do the actually serious people. We do lighter stuff, but those are obviously real garbage people. Let's be clear about that. I also considered making it Laura Loomer once again, because she's on the internet the past few days telling everyone that they need to be really polite. Meanwhile, I remember when like 2 months ago, she said that if the crocodiles at Alligator Alcatraz get hungry, she's got 65 million potential meals for them, referencing the number of what she thinks is undocumented migrants in America. So just, she's absolute trash. But we're gonna go to a different direction. Okay, I'm gonna make it Pastor Joel Webbon, who I don't think we've ever talked about before, who had this to say about parenthood and race.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around. If you go into a crowd of strangers and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say all people and all races of people in our country are the same, they are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
Now, to be clear, that is Pastor Joel Webbon. That's not Matt Walsh. I know that you might think that because he looks like him and he's saying the exact sort of thing that Matt Walsh, but it's not. It's Joel Webbon. And them's the facts. So anyway, look, just saying something like horrendous and racist or whatever, like you can't just say them's the facts after and it becomes common sense. That's not actually how logic or argumentation works. But that guy wants to like basically say you should be racist. Not like for personal reasons, it's your duty as a parent to be racist. And if you're not, you're endangering your kids. Look, my kid's 2 years old. I don't want her randomly walking into a crowd of anybody because that's a lot of people and she's very, very tiny. But the race doesn't have anything to do with it. Like the belief that you can just attribute to an entire group of people, these dark motivations, is to me, one of the reasons that I focus as much on the isms, racism, and also the phobias and all that is because it isn't just terrible and it isn't just hateful. It represents real, measurable brain damage. These are people who are not capable of moving through the world, interpreting what happens, and coming to reasonable conclusions. Their brain is damaged in a way that they cling to the belief that they are superior because of what they were born into. And I hate it. I hope that this person doesn't have followers, but I would not be surprised to find out that on TikTok he's got 6 million followers or something like that. Anyway, that's my garbage person. Woz, what do you make of it?
Where do you find these crowds randomly of blacks? Like, I'd really like to know, like, where are we just randomly congregating at, and just like these huge crowds that are just like hyenas, and we're just ready to like rip white girls apart? Like, where are these crowds, John?
I don't know. Certain parts of town, them's the facts. Yeah, no, it's absolutely disgusting. Let me give you just a little bit more information about this person. Joel Webbon is a hardcore Christian nationalist who believes women should not have the right to vote and Jews should not be able to hold public office. Webbon contributed to the statement on Christian nationalism and the gospel, which declared that the US must formally acknowledge the lordship of Christ in all its laws, abolish abortion, outlaw marriage equality, and recapture our national sovereignty from godless global entities who present a grave threat to civilization. So this guy obviously loves his insane interpretation of the Bible and despises the Constitution because he wants it to be absolutely shredded again, so that people like him are artificially elevated. Everyone who wasn't lucky enough to be born like him will be second-class citizens at best. That's who he is. And again, like everything that you said there, he could be a Republican politician next year. He could be speaking at the RNC. Nothing that he said, nothing that the terrible stuff that we listed would put him even really on the fringe anymore in the MAGA movement, but I find him to be reprehensible. Anyway, those are our garbage people, but 64,000 of you voted for the community garbage person. 6% of that vote went to RFK Jr. for saying video games cause mass shootings. 11% went to the Surgeon General of Florida for not using data when ending vaccine mandates. 14% went to JD Vance for saying, who cares if cartel strikes were war crimes? And 69% went to the SCOTUS for allowing ICE to racially profile. Everyone, please understand that we lock in those choices earlier in the week. That's why certain things aren't on there, but thank you to everybody who voted. Now let's turn away from the negativity to a bit of positivity. Here is your hero of the week. 47,000 of you voted. 7% went to Jon Stewart for roasting Trump's cabinet meeting earlier this week. 23% went to the Democratic senators for grilling RFK Jr. during the hearing. Wow, that feels like it was 6 months ago now, doesn't it? Him saying all that crazy stuff about vaccines. Nobody's talking about that anymore. 26% went to JB Pritzker for slamming Trump administration's racial profiling, but 44% went to DC protesters for calling to free Palestine to Trump's face at that terrible dinner that Trump held. So thank you to everybody for voting there. I don't know, again, I know I'm putting you on the spot, Waz, but do you have anybody you want to identify as a hero of this particular week?
Oh man, that's easy. One of my very best friends, my guy Ray McKee, he saved a teenager who fainted on the subway tracks.
What?
And yeah. He's an MTA worker, and he was just coming off of his lunch break, and this kid fainted, and a train was coming, and he got the train to slow up while they got this 14-year-old kid off of the train track. So Ray McKee, it's actually people.com actually wrote him up. So y'all can look it up on people.com. That's my boy Ray McKee. So I want to highlight him for being a hero of the week.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really wonder, like, if you had someone, like you're driving your subway train or whatever happens, and like you're coming in and you see a person like going wild. Do you stop?
They do have brakes.
They do have brakes, but I'm saying, would they activate them early because they see someone doing this or whatever? Like, thank God they evidently did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure when you're MTA, like there's something they teach you to signal to the conductors, like, hey man, this is like serious.
Yeah,
but yeah, the kid ended up being okay, and yeah,
that's awesome. I will say, I don't know, maybe if it's because I've watched movies, I've watched House of Cards. Like at the subway, they have like that yellow line. I don't even come within 3 feet of that yellow line.
I respect it.
I'm not standing anywhere near there. And I know it's crazy to assume someone's gonna push you or something, but I'm not taking any chances. I am leaning against a pole. I am 10, 20 feet away from that thing. Yeah, anyway. Well, I love that hero. I'm trying to think of a hero and like, I don't know. I liked Bernie's video he put out about the political violence. I think was pretty good. That's good. I don't. It wasn't really a big week of heroes.
Not a big week for heroes, for sure.
No, it's a week of villains. It's a year of villains, honestly.